Welcome to Two Guys, Three Crowns, the podcast that talks about what it's really like to live in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm Sean, and with my fellow American Rodney, we break down the good, the bad, and the just plain weird. It's quite the journey, so join us for the ride. Spring, 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 spring. Are we there yet?
I don't know. Depends on who you ask.
Well, we supposedly had social distancing bonfire nights on Friday, right? We're in May. The Kentucky Derby happened.
Yeah, with like 50,000 people. With just 50,000 people. So.
But I mean, come on, man. We have to be in spring now, right? Right?
Yeah. I say we just decide ourselves. Two guys decide. It's now spring, officially.
Watch. Clark is updating their forecast right now. Snow and ice incoming.
They're like, yeah, we got something for you two guys. Here. Taste that. Taste that.
The gods of winter have heard us.
Yes.
They shall respond.
So, episode 101.
Woo.
So, do we just... I never really understood how podcasts... when they have seasons? Like, would this be season number 2 for us?
Season 2, here we go. 100 episodes.
Season 2, starting on number 1. Starting all over again on number 1. Yeah.
So I'm going to apologize in advance for all the listeners at home and out there in podcast land. I picked up a little souvenir from Dylan's preschool over the weekend. He was homesick. He was like the last one standing at his preschool to not get sick all week. And then he had to be out Thursday, Friday. And I knew. I'm like, oh, here we go. The preschool cold, it's coming for me.
Winter chicken dinner. Woo.
Oh, yeah. So I'm running through these things that they have in this country called Fisherman's Friend. It looks like a pack of chaw that an MLB player might shove in the side of his mouth back in the day. Right. But really, they're just obloid, oval-looking Altoids.
Altoids?
Yeah. They don't have the fancy little tin, but yeah.
Fisherman's Friends, those things are... I don't think I've ever finished an entire pack of Fisherman's Friends. Those little
must
packs
have gone through at least 3 probably by now. I don't know what my count's up to.
Okay, because I think that if you go through all of our clothes, you go through our backpacks and our bags, you go through the car... If you put them all together, we probably have 15 open little baggies of those little mints all over the place. Yeah.
I love it.
It's... Yeah, I found some last week. And
but it's like, this cold could not have hit me at a worse time because, well, it's simultaneously awful and convenient because we're not used to, what's the full name of this thing? Valborg
mess.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, for Sakura and
the fire, the bonfire thing. The bonfire
we light
thing.
fires, whatever.
Yes.
But then May 1st is Labor Day, right? May Day.
Yes.
So everything's closed, including Systemet, the liquor store. So Friday at about 7:30, I was like, wait a minute. What's going on here? And I look on the Systembolaget website and it says stanked.
Yeah.
On Saturday, I'm like, oh no. And then all of a sudden I go, uh-oh. Yeah. And then all the pharmacies, because the pharmacies around here, they all have weird hours. It's like going to a bank. Yeah, and they're all closed. And I'm like, well, great. Now and they don't even have Dayquil in this country, but they must have something better than the grocery stores. They're like, just take a paracetamol and a cough drop.
So you had 0 alcohol, 0 medication.
Nada, baby. I'm going on some old NyQuil at night. That's all I got.
There you go.
That and some water and some cases of Fisherman's Friend here.
Yes. Get her done. Get her done.
Viking style.
Yeah. I thought I was going to go down and Adrian's home visiting for the weekend.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. And we barbecued up a storm yesterday. We just barbecued. So I didn't even ask the kids or the family. I was kind of more like, you want barbecue, right? It was more of a, the inflection in my tone. It was happening. Yeah, so we did like I had the whole barbecue grill was just packed with stuff. Veronica had her boyfriend over, so he was over, and Adrian was home, and we went out and we got the extra. What do you call it? Like the table. There's like a table.
Yeah, a leaf that you put in the middle. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we did the extra leaf in the table and barbecued up a storm.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, and then today I was thinking, hey, Adrian, do you want to go down and check out some shoes? Because I've been thinking about getting some other shoes, just like some like in between casual shoes. Now that I can put away my Everest hiking boots, winter snow survival stuff. And it's not quite slipper weather. So I need like my in-between shoe.
Okay.
Yeah, but I asked him and Adrian was like, yeah, sure. And I was thinking, maybe I could get him some slip-on shoes or something. And I look at the couch and Lena she's like shaking her head. She's like,
Oh boy.
Yeah, so she pulls up her phone and goes in there. And of course they're closed. And I don't really know. I understand how COVID has affected businesses and they're limiting their hours and stuff like that. But clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not like really a shoe buyer on a Monday through Friday. I'm more of a.
And as we already got into last week, I can't be buying stuff from Zalando. It's full price. What are we doing here, people?
You're not leaving us very many choices here,
I know. And then when you do find something like online, everything's sold out. If it's your size, it's always gone. Always.
Yeah. Especially the little teaser thing that they send you. It's like, oh yeah, click, and it's like, oh, that's gone. But these purple
the
polka
ugly
dot ones
version.
are
Try
available. Right. Yeah, that's the way they get you. And so not only is the shoe store closed and a bunch of other little, and you got to remember the Nynäshamn is so small that they kind of go with the flow. Like if people decide, some of the businesses decide, there's not a whole heck of a lot of businesses, so they kind of kommer överens. They have to decide a little bit of how it. And I realize that they're also taking into account the fact that we're still going through the COVID crisis, but. It's amazing the way that that affects you. So we decide, hey, let's go take our walk. We're like, Adrian, you want to come with us? We're going to go take our walk. And we've been taking our walks every day. But today we're like, stuff's closed. Let's go ahead. And Adrian's like, oh, sure, I'll hang on. So we went for another little route that we usually take that goes down.
Avoiding the swamp this time, I hope.
Yeah, but it was wet outside. When we got outside, it was wet. And I asked Lynn, I was like, when did it rain? She was like 15 minutes ago. And I was like, whoa. I mean, what kind of rain? Anyway, so it rained, and I was thinking, it's good that we chose this path. So we go our little route, and along the way, we start running into people like coming the other way. And, it's a 50-50 whether or not you're going to get a high. It's like, it really depends.
Yes.
But we're walking 3 deep. Adrian's 6'7". He's 203. So he's like in the middle, and we're walking, we're talking, and we see a lady approaching. Or no, we passed a lady. Sorry, we passed a lady.
Right.
And she was kind of getting up there in her year. She was she was older. And she's off to the side, and she can hear us because the crunching of the gravel and everything as we're going. And as we pass her, all of a sudden we hear this, distanciering.
What is that? Is that some kind of weird frog noise?
No, it's social distancing. So she's complaining, I guess, that as we passed her, that we weren't keeping our distance. Now,
how wide is this path?
Yeah, but I mean, we all kind of scrunched over and walked by.
Sure.
But okay. So we're thinking, okay, she's a little bit older, maybe slightly grumpy, or maybe she was going to go buy shoes.
Get off my lawn, you
place.
damn kids!
Right. But we go ahead and we continue on our walk, and we get a little bit further. We get past that. We're like, oh, we'll just let that go, and then we keep on walking, and we get past, and then there are a couple of people coming in the other direction. They're like approaching towards us as we're walking towards them. And the lady sticks her arm out sideways, like she's signaling a turn, kind of straight, her arm straight out.
Okay. Or she's trying to clothesline you.
Pretty much. But that was her way of letting us know that you need to pass with at least this much space in between us.
See, the beauty of this is that most cultures around the world, having spent a year indoors away from people,
Right.
are socially awkward anyway as they start to emerge from their cocoons into the world as we get more and more vaccinated. But you have to multiply that factor times 10 when it's applying to Swedish people. So it's just like an extra level of awkwardness.
Yeah, but we just had not run into, this. I mean, granted, it was 2 occasions. This one other guy looked like he was going to run up into the forest to get around us. But and as the lady with the extended arm came walking past, letting us know that that's the distance. As we get past her, Adrian was like, "Hey, I should have done the same thing." Now think about that. Yeah. Adrian is 6'7", 203.
Yeah,
when
he's got like
Adrian,
NBA wingspan over here.
yeah, if he extended his arm out, the lady would have had to cross the street and walk on the other sidewalk. So,
Oh my God.
but that was our, and we looked at each other. We were like, "Why is everybody so grumpy today? Why is everybody so grumpy?"
I know, the sun's out. Come on now.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of going out for walks, with the little one running around home these last few days, we've been going out to the park that's nearby. We have this huge playground down the street that's like a 2-minute walk. And it's great to get him out, get some fresh air and all that. And then we typically, when he gets bored of the swings, go walking around all over, because that's the thing now. We're so close. He doesn't want to ride in the stroller. He'd rather walk himself and just like hold your hand and walk around.
Dylan.
Yeah. So there's this point, though, that I can see like a good section of Södermalm. Like if we go outside our building, I can see like the Sophia anyway and a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
But from this one angle, they're building like it's kind of in between. If you're looking at it from like Google Maps view,
Okay.
it's sort of in between Sophia and the Viking cruise ship port area.
Yeah. I got you.
Demolished some building that was there, and this big hole in the ground, and they're building. I don't know. Who knows what they're building? There's probably signs everywhere, and I can't read
Parking.
it. I'm like, okay,
Parking.
yeah, parking. But there's these cranes everywhere, and it kind of reminds me of the old Miami days, because there would just be cranes for construction everywhere.
Right.
But this idea, I have never understand it, and I'm sure it's an easy explanation. Like, I can understand how you get the crane upright to begin with. That makes sense.
Sure.
But they grow.
Yeah.
I know they don't grow too much here in Stockholm, because most buildings
Right.
are, what, 6 stories tall, or
Sure.
less than 10 or something like that.
Right.
But in Miami, they're building like 40-plus story buildings, same cranes, and they just keep getting taller. And I'm like, how do they do that? Because there's no other crane that's picking the crane up to like keep making it tall. Like what? It blows my mind, man. It's one of those things in life that I look at it and I'm just like, smarter people than me had to figure this out.
Yeah. And you were sitting there going, but then they would need a crane to pick that crane up.
But how do they
to
get that
the
crane
other
so
crane
tall?
up to get the other crane?
And you never see it growing. It just keeps getting higher every time you look at it.
Yeah. No, I'll look it up. I'll Google it. There's got to be a YouTube movie. That's
someone
the way
out
it
there in
works.
podcast land has to know how they do that. Someone must have worked in construction before.
We'll find it. There's something. There's like a "That's the way it works" episode.
Put it
of,
on the list. That one and
cranes.
what does 3 crowns mean? The mysteries of the universe.
Yes. I have another mystery. I have another mystery of the universe.
Okay.
So this one's actually kind of tied to the food thing and also a mystery. But if it ain't broke, don't. If you don't, here's my thing. Doritos. You got a mean, great, fantastic chip. Doritos chips just. I mean, I'm assuming that everybody in the world likes Doritos chips, just because I like Doritos.
I'm typically a Cool Ranch guy myself.
Okay, but a Cool Ranch Doritos, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Doritos nacho cheese.
Oh yeah.
Fan-
Oh yeah.
Great chip. Great chip.
Yeah, yeah.
Great chip.
Oh, the Taco Bell crossover.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But you go from let's say a Doritos nacho cheese chip, and then you're like, hey, let's see what this Cool Ranch could be like. And to me, that seems like a natural, a little natural step to the side.
feels right.
And it feels right, and you taste it, and it tastes great, and it's fantastic. I don't know. Yesterday we're Ika. We get past getting all of the barbecue stuff. And then, of course, the last thing that you get to, the furthest thing in is the milk and those corn on the cobs that never go away.
Yep.
The thing that you pass by on your way out is the snack aisle. It's like all the, it's the chips and the dips and the candy and everything. So we're going to do a movie after the barbecue dinner. And I'm like, okay, let's get whatever snacks everybody wants. And I look over and there's Doritos.
Oh, very nice.
And
classic.
And it's 2 for 35 crowns. 2 for 35
Oh, wow.
crowns. And I'm thinking, hey,
But how big's
that's
the
good.
bag? Are we talking like individual
It's like a normal
family size?
It's like a normal bag.
Okay, not
and
bad.
as I look closer, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Doritos doesn't make green chips. Yeah.
chips.
So I get closer and it's Doritos guacamole flavor.
I'm sorry.
Doritos-
Come again?
Doritos guacamole flavored. And
How possibly?
but you gotta trust them a little bit. I mean, I'm sitting there going, hey, it's Doritos. Doritos does nachos. They do Cool Ranch, and you trust them. You're like, they wouldn't put anything out there that wasn't at least semi.
Who's putting Doritos into guacamole to begin with? Because they're already flavored. Like this, I have so many questions. Not of how it works. I know how they do it. I know how they make the thing. But that's like guacamole. That's taking me back to Brazil, man. Like because there, it's very hard to find. Well, it's hard to find Mexican food. Obviously, you're not in Mexico. You're in Brazil, and Tex-Mex and all that stuff. So when I would make guacamole for Renata's family and all that, we would have to scour for tortilla chips, and it would get to the point where I'm like, just buy some tortillas, I'll cut them up, and then we'll deep fry them.
Deep fry 'em, right?
Yeah. And then this past time we found plain Doritos, like without anything, without any flavor on it. I was like, okay, we can go with that. But it was like, it had the consistency because a Dorito and a nacho chip have a different crunch.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's psychosomatic, but they're different.
Yeah.
And even with all the flavor taken off, it tasted like a tortilla chip, but it bit like a Dorito.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a weird thing. Yeah. But when we were going there, all of our friends in Miami said, oh, you're coming through Miami on the way back. You've got to find wasabi Doritos for us. They're in Brazil somewhere. You have to bring them back. I'm like, oh, okay, slow your roll here, people.
Yeah.
We never found them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, let me
flavor.
Yeah. Let me. I can say this, that we passed the bag around. Everybody tasted the chips. We have a full bag of Doritos guacamole chips in the kitchen. They were. I mean, I don't even know where they got guacamole from. It's like a salty, almost lime kind of a deal,
Like the
which I'm
Tostitos
okay
with lime.
Which are some of my favorite chips. I love those.
Yeah,
chips.
I can
but
get down with
this,
those.
but this, no, Doritos guacamole. And then today, as I'm making breakfast, I look over, and on the corner of the bag it says "perfect for dipping."
But the dip is on the chip. What are you going to dip
Exactly.
it into?
What am I supposed to dip it in? You already forced the guacamole onto the chip.
Yeah, what do I have to go out and buy like a Cool Ranch sauce to dip in my guacamole chip into? This makes no sense.
The next amount, yeah. But anyway, so I'm probably going to give Doritos another shot, somewhere down the line. And then I'm wondering if Nina-san, if we're like not small enough to be like a test, like we're a guinea pig, like a Stockholm guinea pig market. But again, I think that my feeling is that they're probably going to sell a bunch just because it's Doritos. But I don't know.
Man,
I'm
I'll tell you what, though. If they were to come out with Doritos guacamole chips, but they made them like the Tostitos scoops,
Sure.
I'd be like, screw it. I'm going to buy them.
Yeah.
I miss
They
my
could
scoops, man.
They could have called them Doritos mystery flavor, but I think that they build you up mentally, in your head going, wow, if somebody was able to cram guacamole into a tortilla chip.
But it's been aerated into dust to be put on the chip, so it can't be like guacamole because guacamole is creamy.
Yeah. You'd have to like dip it in sour cream or something.
Oh, come on, man. Hey, I hear you have some funny business going on with your phones.
Oh, whoop, boy, do I.
You decided to join the 21st century. Now you have a dishwasher, and now tell the people what you've just done with your life.
We have cut the umbilical. We have gotten rid of our landline.
Woo! Burr,
Yeah.
burr, burr.
Yeah. And we've had it. This has been something we've been talking about for about a year. We thought that having a landline, for one, it's, since we, like growing up, kids, you had a phone that was connected to the wall. If all else failed, then, your phone was your way of getting old. We kept it so that there was always a phone in the house. Mm-hmm. And what we realized after a while was that the only two people that were using our landline, well, three people, actually 2, 3 plus a gazillion salespeople. But it was Lena's mom and my mom. They were the only ones calling us. It was like the bat phone, the mom bat phone.
If it rings, don't answer.
Yeah. Hey, but the expense when we switched over to fiber optic, internet, the box that we had to buy in order to keep a physical phone was outrageously expensive.
And I'm sure the company was like, wait, what do you mean a physical phone?
Yeah, I'm surprised
The
they didn't like
iPhone
switch
is
just
physical.
Yeah, they're like, hey, can you hold on for a second? Hey, Frank, this guy wants a phone that goes like into the wall.
Yeah, is that one of those old timey ones that you had to twist in a circle?
With the bungee cord thing, the bungee. But we made the decision the other day, and now even my mom isn't really ever sure what she's calling me on. She just sees my name and my picture and pushes. Sometimes it's Messenger, sometimes it's FaceTime, sometimes I never really know where my mom is going to contact me from, but it's not that landline. So yeah, we did that, and it's not sentimental, but it definitely. And it wasn't really a landline phone anyway, because it was going via fiber optics. A while back, they said that if the internet goes down, traditional phones would still work.
Yeah, but it was such a phone that you couldn't take it out of your house, carry it with you to the store, and make calls.
Yeah.
Without having a really long wire.
Right. So now we went ahead, and I think it was like a week or 2 weeks ago, we sat down and we called up, and now we are going to be landlineless. We're not going to have a phone that connects into the wall with a bungee cord.
How does it feel?
It feels. I mean, it doesn't. I thought it was going to be a lot harder, that I was going to come up with like a bunch of reasons why to keep that phone. But, I'm like, okay, Lee, we'll just unplug it and we'll put it in the closet next to the fax machine.
Yeah. Exactly. Or the router from the last people to live in that apartment.
Right.
It's there for some reason. You don't throw it out, but it's up there somewhere.
I think when Adrian moved into his apartment, there were 4 boxes inside the closet.
Yes.
And they had written like all the information on the inside of the cabinet door. So it was like passwords crossed out, and it was like all of these different stuff just in there, the history of the apartment.
I love it. Yeah, man. Yeah. The last time, I haven't had a landline since I went to my undergrad when I moved out of my parents' place.
Wow. Okay.
And I've been mobile only for years and years, except for one time. and that was in London. And I could not get internet or TV service without them sticking a landline phone in my apartment. And I'm like, why do I need this? I'm not going to use it. They're like, it comes with the package. You need it in order for everything to work. I'm like, this makes no sense, people.
It comes with the package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I think that the only thing that I'm going to miss, or the thing I'm going to miss most about a traditional landline phone, is being able to hang up on people, like for real.
yes.
There is nothing
Smash!
like slamming the phone down on somebody. Now it's just a click. And don't you ever call me again.
And not even a click. It's like an angry tap. Tap, 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 tap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then hope that you don't break your screen in the process.
Right. No, I'm gonna see.
That's the next innovation we need from Tim Cook. Forget about these tile knockoffs
Right.
to help you find your keys. We need to be able to slam the phone to hang up on someone.
Yeah. Hey, two guys.
Maybe it
three
like
crowns.
blared. It's an app when you hang up, like alternative hang up. It blasts an air horn sound into their
Here
ear.
we go. Yet another invention.
Yeah, put that one on the list with the beer drones.
Exactly. Brought to you by Two Guys, Three Crowns.
Imagine making the world a better place one day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bah, bah, bah.
Yeah. What does your party horn sound like again?
Bah, bah, bah.
Okay.
Oh, man. And you got a special delivery this week.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. For our 100th episode, we got a variety of different greetings, congratulations. We got messages. And from our good friend Tiago in Portugal, he sent us, and I don't even have the name of it in front of me. I was going to have my little cheat sheet.
Ovos moles.
That's what it was, from Aveiro. And I went in, and Googled it and actually took a look at how this, but it's would you say a confection? It's a pastry?
Yeah, it's a dessert
Pastry
kind of treat.
Dessert pastry. And he sent those to us, and wow.
I think the closest thing translation wise is cream egg.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm
boy,
assuming
was
they're
it,
all
yeah.
gone.
No. No. I promised you that I would save you.
Tiago listening out there, he sent me a picture of it arriving at his house, and he said, I'll do my best. Talk soon.
Well, I mean, I've been eating them just to be able to describe for people what the.
Wait, I forgot. I need to.
I'm
try
getting
another
closer.
one.
I'm getting closer. But that was a nice treat. Went down to the. I got one of those avis. I got a little paper thing in the mail that says that you have a package to pick up. Yeah. So I went down and I thought, oh, it's one of my tech devices. No,
Another.
because I am waiting for one more thing. But so I go down to the store and I get this box from Portugal. Fantastic.
Lovely.
So
thank you to Tiago, and thank you to everyone who sent in messages as well. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yes.
So now we only got 99 episodes to go, and
Yeah,
we can
season
get
2
more.
coming out strong.
This has got to be the longest season in history.
Hopefully. All right, everyone. That sound means we're out of time for this week's episode. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you know the answer to this mystery of the universe of how do you get these cranes taller? I mean, they're heavy. You can't just pick it up and put more crane parts underneath. If you have an idea of how it works, please drop us a DM through Instagram, send us an email, send a carrier pigeon. Let us know what is going on with this. Blows our minds. And then come back here next time for more Two Guys, Three Crowns.